Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Dr. Watkins from blackkeystogreatness.com. I'm in Denver. I'm about to head out to Las Vegas for the next step of the tour. I tell you guys about the tour a lot only because this is what we have to do to make sure everybody knows about it. No matter how many times you say something, I learned this when I was teaching at Syracuse, that no matter how many times you say something, if you have a crowd big enough, somebody's always going to miss it. So if you have 200 students, you say something 5 times, there's always that 4 or 5 students that'll say, well, so when's the homework due again? So anyway, that's why in case you ever wonder why I repeat things, that's why you have to do it. So when you start promoting whatever you're doing, you're looking to market and let people know what's happening in your life. If you have a big audience, you might have to repeat yourself. So make sure you do that. Anyway, I was thinking about something that I wanted to help you guys with. Part of it is the Black Keys to Greatness class, which is kind of dealing with critics and criticism. I'll tell you, it's no matter how hard you try to do the right thing, no matter how hard you try to be honest, no matter how hard you try to be ethical, there's always somebody that's going to come at you just crazy, crazy, crazy. And what I find is that it's built on two things. Number one is built on sometimes obsessiveness or competition, right? So some might translate that into jealousy. Sometimes it could be jealousy, but sometimes it's not even jealousy. Sometimes somebody just really thinks they're better than you at something, and so maybe while jealousy is a little bit of that, it may just be like, okay, I'm going to prove myself by taking this guy down. In China, they have a saying that the fattest pig always gets slaughtered. So ultimately, when you do more, when you accomplish more, you're going to become the fat pig. And so just know somebody's going to always try to slaughter you. When you sit as the king of the hill, somebody's always going to try to knock you off so they can become the king of the hill. And that's the law of nature. It happens with animals. It happens everywhere. So ultimately, what I think you really want to think about is when you're going through it. I always remember the quote from Malcolm X that says, "If you have no critics, you will have no success." That's number one. So you're going to get criticized. Even look at Barack Obama. As brilliant as he is, Harvard graduate, a decent person, did his best, accomplished a lot. He still has half the country that doesn't like him, and sometimes they criticize him for good reason too. That's another thing too. Sometimes somebody may criticize you because you really didn't mess up, right? So all of that kind of plays into it. And what I found is that sometimes when people get criticized heavily, they can spend so much time focused on responding to the critics that they end up zapping their own mojo, so to speak. And what does that mean? That means basically getting to the point where they are spending so much time dealing with the people who don't like them that they're neglecting the people who love them. And so, ultimately, what I have to remember sometimes is when I get so mad, people will say stuff, and I'm like, "That ain't right. That ain't true. What are you talking about?" I'm not no punk, right? I'll get in your face. I calm myself down and I say, you know what, boys, everybody ain't gonna like everything you're doing, no matter how hard you try. Everybody ain't gonna like you. So at the end of the day, and truth is, sometimes I say stuff that's controversial, and you do that, you're gonna get some fights out of that. And so being a fighter is part of the game, but also the fighting doesn't always mean you're fighting your enemies. Sometimes it means you're fighting yourself. You're fighting yourself to keep yourself focused on what it is you're trying to do, who it is you're trying to be, where you're trying to go, and you're trying to keep focused on that path instead of deviating and going every other direction. And the truth of the matter is that number one, the fights make you stronger. The battles of dealing with the twisted, mentalities that come from, just getting unfair criticism or dealing with, untruths or whatever. That makes you stronger, makes you more focused. It helps you realize what matters is how you feel about yourself, not so much whatever everybody else feels about you. But also, I just think that generally speaking, once you gain that toughness, it just makes you better at what you do. If you can't fight through it, if you don't have the mental toughness to get through it, then Mother Nature kind of says, in a survival of the fittest kind of way, that maybe you don't deserve to be wherever it is you're meant to be. Because I can tell you what, if you look at somebody like a Barack Obama, I guarantee you every day he has to make decisions, he has to process things and deal with attacks that keep him up at night, right? So the question is, how can he find a way to sleep even in the midst of all this chaos and uncertainty? So as you climb the hill, as you try to build, as you try to grow, just keep that in mind. Just know it's going to be a fight. Everybody ain't gonna like you. The more you do, the more you're gonna be attacked. The more people are gonna compete with you. And so the more you have to focus and center yourself to say, you know what, I got this. This is my throne. I'm gonna make this happen, right? So stay cool, keep it moving, be strong, because you are great. You're meant for greatness. So by the way, if you want to learn more about this in terms of time management, motivation, strategies for overcoming obstacles, we do have a class on this, and the first month is free. It's at blackkeystogreatness.com. You can go to blackkeystogreatness.com and sign up. I think you're gonna love the class. There's a money back guarantee if you don't like it, but this is the kind of stuff we talk about in terms of strategies to just be your best self. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal. At the end of the day, that's it. There's a difference between being the best and being at your best. And I learned this when I was 22, 23 years old. So every day I'm always like, okay, boys, you might be the best, but are you at your best? Because when I'm at my best, I ain't scared of nothing. So don't be scared of nothing. Just step forward, keep it moving. All right, guys. Don't forget blackkeystogreatness.com, and don't forget we're also on tour. You can learn more about what cities we're going to go to by visiting the drboycewatkinstour.com. That's the drboycewatkinstour.com. And tomorrow our Black Wealth Bootcamp starts. You can sign up at theblackwealthbootcamp.com. That's theblackwealthbootcamp.com. I'm gone. Take care. Talk to you soon. Peace.